UPSC aspirants, get ready for a deep dive.
Into something you'll definitely see on your exams.
India's urea revolution.
It's a success story.
Yeah, with huge implications.
For agriculture,
The economy.
and of course, your UPSC dreams.
This isn't just some boring fertilizer talk.
No, it's a gold mine.
For both mains and prelims.
We'll be breaking it all down.
Okay,
from
so-
what urea is.
To why India is making headlines.
With its urea production.
So why is this such a big deal?
Especially if you're aiming for the IAS.
Right.
Well, the Economic Survey,
Oh,
2023-24,
okay.
shows us
What does it show us?
that agriculture is the backbone of India,
Okay.
supporting over 42% of the population and contributing 18% to the GDP.
Huge.
And to boost agricultural productivity,
Yeah,
fertilizers like urea.
makes sense.
That's why the government has schemes.
Right.
The Urea Subsidy Scheme
Okay.
and the new Urea Policy
Yeah.
2015.
Gotcha.
Potential hot topics for your exams.
So these schemes, they're trying to make sure farmers can afford fertilizer.
Exactly.
The urea subsidy scheme lowers the cost of urea.
For farmers.
Yeah, think of it like a financial cushion,
Okay.
encouraging them to use this vital nutrient.
And then there's
The nutrient-based subsidy scheme.
Right.
It promotes balanced fertilization,
like
supporting a mix of nutrients.
not
Nitrogen from urea.
Gotcha.
It's all about sustainable agriculture.
Something the UPSC examiners love.
They love that.
Sustainability is important.
It is, but let's back up.
Yeah. What exactly is urea?
A quick refresher.
For those who need it.
It's basically a nitrogen powerhouse.
For plants.
Yeah, it's a fertilizer with 46% nitrogen.
Wow, that's a lot.
It helps crops grow strong.
So urea is cost effective.
Yes, because of the high nitrogen.
That's a lot.
It's easy to transport,
And store
which is crucial.
in a country as big as India.
Exactly.
So urea is like the go-to
You could say that.
for Indian farmers.
Reliable, efficient, gets the job done. And here's a fun fact.
All right, I love fun facts.
Urea isn't just for agriculture.
Really?
It's also a cattle feed supplement. And it's used in industries like plastics.
Wow, versatile.
It is.
What's really caught my eye
What's that?
is India's progress in urea production.
Domestic production.
Yeah, I saw some impressive figures.
India's urea production has seen remarkable growth.
Like how much?
Between 2011-12 and 2023-24,
Okay.
domestic production jumped 22 million tons to 31.4 million tons.
Wow.
And imports decreased.
Significant.
This year alone,
Okay.
urea imports dropped 31.7%.
Huge.
We might see imports below 5 million tons.
Wow, when's the last time that happened?
Not since 2006-07.
That is a huge shift.
It is.
What's fueling that?
Strategic investment.
Oh, okay.
6 new urea plants.
Oh.
Boosting production.
Yeah.
Catering to regions with a surge in agriculture. Eastern Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, parts of Telangana.
I've heard of those.
They're the new green revolution zones.
New Green Revolution.
Yeah.
Sounds like something for the exams.
Absolutely.
What does it signify?
The government's focus on boosting productivity regions with high potential.
Okay.
These new plants aren't just producing more,
What else?
they're doing it more efficiently.
Compared to
Older plants,
how so?
they use less energy per ton of urea.
That's good.
They're environmentally friendly.
Another plus for UPSC answers
Definitely.
is less energy.
Means a smaller carbon footprint
Win-win.
for the economy and the environment.
Can you give me an example?
Oof.
One of these new plants.
The Maddox fertilizer plant
Where is that?
in Panagar,
Okay.
West Bengal.
Gotcha.
It's incredibly efficient.
Consumes less energy.
Far less than older plants.
How much less?
Enough to power thousands of homes annually.
That puts things into perspective.
It does.
And there's a mega project in the pipeline.
You're thinking of the Tulchar fertilizer plant.
Yeah, in Odisha.
That's the one.
Huge undertaking.
It's costing 17,080 crore rupees.
Wow.
It's going to use coal gasification technology.
Meaning?
It blends coal with petroleum coke.
Sure.
Maximize the use of domestic resources.
That aligns with
The Make in India initiative.
a significant policy.
Oh, for your exams.
So India's making strides,
In urea production.
but there's still a debate, right?
About
Producing domestically,
thinks this is where
relying on imports.
the classic make versus buy dilemma.
Shows up in UPSC discussions.
It does.
Importing urea seems cheaper.
on the surface.
But there's more to the story.
There is.
I'm all ears.
It comes down to logistics.
Okay.
And the bigger economic picture,
All right.
importing might be cheaper at first.
But then,
Transporting and bagging it adds up.
especially to,
The North and East.
right,
Domestic plants streamline that.
saving money in the long run.
Plus, domestic production creates jobs.
Yeah.
Stimulates the economy.
Aligning with,
They make in India.
it's not just about the cost.
No.
It's about the ripple effect.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
see the strategic thinking.
It's about the long-term benefits.
Something to keep in mind.
For your mains answers.
Sure.
But what about the future of urea production?
In India.
Where do we go from here?
What's next?
We'll be exploring that in part 2.
Okay.
We'll discuss a balanced approach,
Meaning.
increasing production in some regions,
Right.
optimizing imports for others.
Gotcha.
We'll also talk about urea pricing,
Yeah.
its impact on consumption.
This is insightful.
It
I'm
is.
seeing how this applies to my UPSC prep.
And it's not just for the exam.
Right.
It helps us understand India's agriculture.
And its connection to the economy and environment.
Exactly.
It's about being well informed.
Yes.
We'll be back with part 2 after a short break.
So don't go anywhere.
And if you're finding this helpful,
Subscribe and like for more UPSC content.
we'll see you soon.
Welcome back, UPSC aspirants,
We've laid the groundwork,
for understanding India's urea revolution.
but now,
We tackle the challenges.
right, the UPSC exam isn't just about facts.
No.
It's about analyzing situations.
In complex situations.
So one of the biggest
when
challenges
it comes to urea,
is balancing agricultural output
with the environmental impact.
of fertilizers.
You got it.
While urea boosts production,
It does.
excessive use can lead to problems.
Like soil degradation.
And water pollution.
Even greenhouse gas emissions.
Those are serious issues.
They often appear in mains questions
Expected.
about sustainable development,
So how do we balance?
agricultural growth,
Well,
environmental sustainability. One approach
yeah.
is promoting balanced fertilizer use,
Meaning?
educating farmers, applying the right amount, specific crops and soil types.
Okay.
Imagine explaining this in your mains exam,
How would I do that?
highlighting how government programs can help farmers.
To adopt responsible practices.
Exactly.
Makes sense, giving farmers knowledge and resources.
They can make a big difference.
Speaking of resources,
Yeah.
what about those alternative fertilizers?
Like
Nanourea.
and nano DIP.
Do they help with the environmental challenge?
Absolutely.
How so?
Nano urea is a game changer.
In what way?
It delivers nitrogen more efficiently.
Meaning?
Farmers use less,
So less cost.
then less environmental impact.
This is the kind of thing
UPSC examiners love.
in answers.
But
Wow.
science and technology in agriculture.
So nanourea is like
A targeted missile,
delivering nutrients.
right where they're needed.
But are these nanofertilizers available?
That's the challenge.
How so?
The government is promoting them.
What?
Adoption rates are still low.
So what needs to happen?
Awareness needs to be raised.
Very-
Farmers need convincing.
This ties into
Administrative challenges.
that are often discussed.
In the mains exam,
It's like having a tool
but no instructions.
or training.
Exactly.
We need to empower farmers
To make informed decisions.
that benefit them and the environment.
Precise.
This brings us to,
Research and development.
are we finding more sustainable solutions?
Absolutely. India has a brilliant scientific community
Working on this?
dedicated to agricultural advancement,
What are they working on?
biofertilizers,
Okay.
slow-release fertilizers,
Yeah.
fertilizers for specific crops,
These innovations,
revolutionize fertilization,
minimizing impact,
and maximizing yields.
that's encouraging.
It is.
But innovation takes time.
It does.
What role does government policy play?
Government policy is crucial,
Yeah.
nurturing a sustainable industry.
Okay.
Imagine you're a policymaker.
Writing a means answer.
You would talk about incentives for research
Okay.
and development,
And
encouraging sustainable practices,
what else?
implementing regulations,
To prevent overuse.
and ensure responsible disposal.
So it's a multi-pronged approach.
Research, incentives, regulations.
And of course, education for farmers.
Exactly.
But this isn't just for the exam.
It's not.
It's about real-world challenge.
Facing Indian agriculture
It's about finding solutions.
that benefit everyone.
The UPSC exam tests your thinking
Your ability to apply knowledge.
to real situations.
Exactly.
This is valuable
It is.
for understanding this sector.
It's complex.
Now I'm curious
About what?
about the bigger picture
What trends to watch for?
in the coming years.
That's a great question.
What do you think
We'll tackle that in the final part.
of our deep dive
We'll explore the future,
of India's urea sector?
the potential, the challenges.
Stay tuned. All right, we're back
for the final part
of our deep dive
into India's urea revolution.
We've covered a lot
To the basics
to the challenges
of balancing agriculture.
and the environment.
Now let's look ahead.
What does the future hold?
For this sector,
Yeah, what's next?
to understand the future,
Okay.
we need to zoom out the global context.
Oh.
India is the second largest consumer of urea,
After.
China,
Gotcha.
and our population is growing. So demand for food will rise.
And that means
More demand for urea
so more mouths to feed,
means more crops,
which means
more fertilizer.
classic supply and demand.
Exactly.
But we have to think about
The environmental impact.
fertilizers.
Right.
So it's a challenge,
It is
but also an opportunity.
for India to lead sustainable fertilizer production.
Interesting.
We're at a crossroads
How do we move forward?
while meeting demand without hurting the planet. Efficiency is key.
How so?
Imagine writing a mains answer.
Okay.
You're a policymaker,
Right.
proposing a strategy.
True.
Improve efficiency of existing plants.
Yeah.
Invest in new technologies.
Yeah.
Minimize energy use and emissions.
So a two-pronged approach
Optimize what we have
and embrace innovation.
for sustainable solutions.
What about those older plants?
The less efficient ones.
Yeah.
Phasing them out is tough, crucial for the long term,
It's about strategic choices.
that benefit the system.
Even if they're hard at first,
Exactly.
we have to consider the costs,
And the benefits.
the environmental impact.
And job creation.
It's all connected.
It is.
like a puzzle.
Where everything matters.
So what else should we be watching for?
One trend is precision agriculture.
What's that?
High-tech farming.
Using
Sensors, drones, data analysis. Optimize fertilizer
the
use.
right amount, the right place.
At the right time.
No more guesswork.
Just data,
That's efficient.
and it reduces waste.
And environmental impact.
It's important for the syllabus.
Science and technology in agriculture.
For both prelims and mains.
What other breakthroughs are coming?
Biofertilizers are exciting.
What are those?
Fertilizers from natural sources,
Poetry.
bacteria, fungi,
No.
improve soil health,
How?
boost nutrient uptake,
Reducing our need for
synthetic fertilizers.
harnessing the power of nature.
It resonates with consumers
Who want organic food.
and sustainable options.
India has an advantage here.
With our tradition organic farming.
Imagine getting asked about this.
In your mains exam,
The potential of biofertilizers.
shaping Indian agriculture.
I'm ready for that question now.
The future of India's urea sector.
It's promising.
But it needs planning
In innovation,
and sustainable practices.
we need new technologies
And
and support for farmers.
It's a complex challenge.
But India can handle it.
With our expertise
And our spirit.
and our heritage.
This has been insightful.
It has.
I understand so much more now.
About India's urea revolution.
It's been great talking with you.
My pleasure.
And to all our listeners,
If you found this helpful,
subscribe and like for more.
until next time.
Keep those UPSC dreams burning bright.